Welcome to the Crypt. My name is Zvenghoulina, your horror hostess with the mostest and resident ASMR Cryptkeeper. In this video, I am going to tell you about my top 10 favorite 90s TV show episodes of Tales from the Crypt. It is a bit on the nose, I know, but I have gotten some questions about which episodes I prefer. So, in order to help you perfect your Halloween watch list, I will be adding my favorites to the mix. They will be ordered by season, not by the level of how much I like them, but just to keep everything in order in case you happen to fall asleep while I am talking to you. It is no trouble. I love it when you relax in peace. So, without further ado, let's get started, shall we? Shall we? Shall we? Shall we? Igora, what is this? Oh, it is not even Cryptopin yet, and you're already giving me Cryptmas presents. I love it. Tales from the Crypt, Season 1. And All Through the House, Season 1, Episode 2. Premiering in 1989, based on the Vault of Horror number 35, depicted in the 1972 Tales from the Crypt film. Elizabeth kills her second husband on Christmas Eve for his insurance money. She is unexpectedly attacked by an escaped mental patient as she is getting rid of the body. The mental patient is dressed as Santa and likes to kill women, according to a radio report that Elizabeth missed. She thinks that Psycho Santa will go after her daughter, who went to bed with the window open. Full disclosure, when I was a child, I may have seen this episode a little bit too young, and it was very, very convincing to me. And because of this, I have an innate fear of a murderous Santa Claus. I do not really like to see it in haunted attractions because it actually unnerves me very much. But I guess this is the point of a haunted attraction. Scream therapy and all of that. But yes, there are not very many horror movies that scare me with the scary Santa trope, but this one gets me. I don't know, it's very, very efficient in that way. Not to mention, they seem to nail it in the second episode of the first season already. The first episode is very good as well. However, this one genuinely terrifies me, so that is why it made the list. Season 2, For Crying Out Loud, Season 2, Episode 8, premiering in 1990, based on shock suspense stories Number 15. Marty Slash plans to run off with all of the donation money from a series of Save the Amazon charity benefit concerts, but develops a conscience trying to convince him it's a bad idea. There are cameos from Katie Sagal, known otherwise as Peg Bundy or Leela, and Iggy Pop also makes a cameo. This episode is told as a flashback, which is a rarity for Tales from the Crypt. What was that, Igor, my darling? I could not hear you. Oh, this, I always wear ear protection to Iggy Pop concerts. It's just practical. Marty Slash basically exemplifies everything that you shouldn't do to your ears, and that is what is so horrifying about this episode. Other than the fact that his conscience that he has recently developed is voiced by none other than the outrageous stand-up comedian Sam Kinison. If I had Sam Kinison in my head telling me what to do, I probably would put a business end of a stick into my ear as well to try and dig him out. Another fun fact about this episode is that the character Marty Slash is played by Lee Arenberg, who also played one of the primary Parley pirates in Pirates of the Caribbean. I do believe he is in all of the sequels as well, so he's a very good comedic actor, a good blend of comedy and body horror. I cannot recommend that enough. Season 3. Top Billing. Season 3, Episode 5. Premiering in 1991. Based on The Vault of Horror number 39. It is also somewhat based on The System of Dr. Tar and Professor Feather by Edgar Allan Poe. Barry is a struggling actor with a string of bad luck. He auditions for a strange stage production of Hamlet with an erratic director. John Astin and John Lovitz star. John Astin is the original Gomez Adams. It is a strange case of cognitive dissonance, for sure. Oh, Hamlet. The vampire army is attacking. What if some vampire were to get into our home base? To be or not to be as cool as John Astin in this episode. It is a tremendous effort by a senior to outact literally everybody else on set and chew up all of the scenery while you are doing it. As I mentioned, John Astin is the original Gomez Adams, therefore the king of cool. Look upon him, see him, yes. It is the star of the episode, which is why it made the list. Season 4. Split Personality. Season 4, Episode 11. Premiering in 1992. Based on The Vault of Horror number 30. Joe Pesci guns two hot twins with all the cunning use of a clip-in ponytail. It is entirely camp. There is not a lot I can say about this episode without giving away major spoilers like I already have, but again, it is a good blend of comedy and body horror. Season 5, Death of Some Salesman. Season 5, Episode 1, premiering in 1993. Based on The Haunt of Fear, number 15. Ed Begley Jr. is a salesman tormented by the superior acting prowess of Tim Curry. In a triple role, this predates The Nutty Professor, which premiered in 1996. It also stars a one Miss Yvonne De Carlo, also known as Lily Monster. This episode is grotesque in almost every way. This would be S tier if I was making a tier list, but I'm not doing that in this video. I love this episode. The makeup effects work, the acting, the characterizations. It is everything that I would want and more. And also, one of my very favorite actresses, Miss Yvonne De Carlo, making a cameo as an old woman being manipulated by Ed Begley Jr. in the beginning of the episode. I absolutely love that Tales from the Crypt was able to source both a member of the Addams family and the monsters. Also, the fact that she is in the episode with Tim Curry is a chef's kiss. The brilliant episode writing absolutely everything horror that you would possibly want. So I quite enjoy A Death of Some Salesman, but it is part of the trifecta of awesome that is season 5. House of Horror, Season 5, Episode 7, premiering in 1993. A fraternity initiation challenge at a haunted house goes weird, starring a one Will Wheaton from Star Trek Next Generation, Jason London of Dazed and Confused fame, which also premiered this very same year, and Meredith Salinger, the star of Lake Placid, 1999, and Patton Oswalt's wife. The set from House of Horror is reused from Dan Aykroyd's 1991 film Nothing But Trouble. House of Horror is based on Tales from the Crypt, number 21. It took me about 21 years to realize that the set from House of Horror, the primary house, is also the Volkenvania Manor from Nothing But Trouble. This is absolutely one of my favorite films. It came out the year I was born, so I am, yes, ancient. And I quite enjoy it so much that I had to hunt down the soundtrack. Yes, you cannot buy the entire soundtrack online or find it in any library, I suspect. And this is just between you and I. That Aykroyd and these Blues Brothers reminder, but you didn't hear it from me. I just really wanted to hear the songs in their entirety for myself. So, yes, that is my little addendum with nothing but trouble. Crypt Course, Season 5, Episode 9, premiering in 1993, based on The Haunt of Fear, number 23. Nerdy girl Stella is tricked by a jock into helping him acquire answers for an upcoming Egyptology test. Unfortunately, the Professor Jeffrey Jones is tricking them both into doing his bidding. It features a very on-the-nose casting, but you get to watch Jeffrey Jones die. Finally, the trilogy of awesome that is Season 5 of Tales from the Crypt. I had this episode taped off of TV and I watched it over and over and over again. I really like this episode, and it again, like I said, seems like a very on the nose casting to have him as the authority figure over two younger subordinates that he wants to do his bidding to meet his own ends. So it is a bit grotesque and horrifying in that way as well. But I quite enjoy a good mummy tale, don't you? I just love the designs of them, the history, the regality of the tombs. It all speaks to me. And Stella is my bisexual awakening. Okay, her in the outfit that is at the end. Oh, 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 like mommy movies and bisexual awakenings kind of go hand in hand, but the thing about it is makes it a little bit more interesting is that it is not a movie. This is a very long show that plays like a movie, but I digress. I really like how Stella is dressed. Also, this is my mommy mold. This is a mommy mold, the mommy mold-arama. This is a mommy mold-arama. So, yes, I just wanted to show it to you. Season 6. Only Skin Deep. Season 6, Episode 2, premiering in 1994. This is a Halloween episode based on the Vault of Horror number 32. It is also directed by William Malone of House on Haunted Hill and Fear.com fame. In it, Carl goes to a Halloween party to bully his ex into dating him again. There he finds a masked woman dressed as a body bag who may be more unhinged than him. The location scouting for House on Haunted Hill 1999 was done in part by William Malone when he was directing these Tales from the Crypt episode. So, as I mentioned, it was a Halloween episode, and one of the main elements that I really enjoy is the 90s Halloween party on display. If your party looks like that, please invite me. I would love to come. And I love also this haunting white mask that the woman is wearing, and it is one of the inspirations for my character Sybil. Besides Sybil, the director William Malone also made one of my absolute favorite films, House on Haunted Hill 1999, the remake. And I believe he mentioned in the DVD commentary on this film that he did some location scouting and preparation while he was working on Only Skin Deep for Tales from the Crypt. So I really, really love this film. And it is possibly one of my most favorite films in existence besides the original with Vincent Price. So I had to include the Halloween episode Only Skin Deep. 99 and 44 out of 100% pure horror. Season 6, episode 14, premiering in 1995, based on The Vault of Horror number 23. Dharma Smooth Soap Company fires the artist Villa, blaming her for a failed ad campaign. She then goes on a rampage as revenge, starring the Ice Princess from Batman Returns, Christy Conway as Villa. Even though the title is a mouthful, 99 and 44 out of 100% pure horror. I cannot recommend it enough if you would like to see the Ice Princess from Batman Returns in lots of amazing shower scenes. I'm telling you, Tales from the Crypt is an awakening that I do not regret. Every single shower scene is absolutely perfect. I mean, not every single one, but I truly enjoy all of the elements her as an artist, the art that she creates, it all speaks to my soul in a certain type of way. So I highly recommend it. This episode was produced the same year as Tales from the Crypt presents Demon Night. This is another one of my absolute favorite films. I quite enjoy all of the storytelling bits, the history that the man who is in the very first episode of Tales from the Crypt actually is the main character of this film. This film is so good. So after you are done watching all of these Tales from the Crypt episodes, you might want to look into Tales from the Crypt presents Demon Night. Maybe not Tales from the Crypt presents Bordello of Blood or The Ritual though. Very good. Season 7. The Third Pig. Season 7, episode 13, premiering in 1996. This is the final episode of the live-action Tales from the Crypt. However, this is the only episode that is an animated retelling of The Three Little Pigs, which is not a Tales from the Crypt story. It is narrated by the Cryptkeeper. The big bad wolf is played by Bobcat Gottlieb. Brad Garrett of Everybody Loves Raymond fame plays Drinky Pig and the Zombie Pig. Smoky Pig is played by Charlie Adler, who you may know as Ickis or Cow and Chicken. Dudley Pig is played by Cam Clark, who is known to play Leonardo and Rocksteady in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Corey Burton also makes a feature. He is known as Captain Hook. And Jim Cummings, the voice of Optimus Prime and Winnie the Pooh, is also part of this storied voice cast. Since it is the only episode that is animated, it counts as a segue to a spin-off. It was animated by Nelvana, and it produced the spin-off Tales from the Cryptkeeper. Season 7 of Tales from the Crypt is the final season, as I mentioned, mostly because a majority of the episodes, according to audience consensus, were big fat stinkers in season 6, and it was more of the same for season 7. Unfortunately, production budgets were slashed and production was moved away to distant lands, so the quality dips ever so slightly. However, this episode is an outlier not only because it is the final episode, but because it is animated, and also, as I mentioned, it is not a Tales from the Crypt story. It becomes a Tales from the Crypt story, how they designed it and wrote it. However, the initial premise, not a Tales from the Crypt story, it sort of skews into Brothers Grimm territory, if I'm being honest, which I quite enjoy myself. The team who produced this episode got their own spin-off series, Tales from the Cryptkeeper. It is a little bit more kid-friendly, but let me read the back to you. The Cryptkeeper opens his vault of tales once again for even more screams. All of the shocks, scares, and laughs continue, and as always, leave you with something to think about by teaching you a lesson in his own coolish way. I actually got this in a horror subscription box, so it is a very interesting. I do not want to get rid of it, but I do not have any children and I do not really like it, but it is part of the Tales from the Crypt collection, so it's sort of like a second or cousin. You are family, you are technically allowed at the reunion, but I will not be speaking to you. So those were my top 10 favorite episodes of Tales from the Crypt. If you would like me to do a tier list, or if you would like me to talk about another 5 or 10 favorite episodes of Tales from the Crypt, I definitely could think of a few more. So, until we meet again, I hope that this helped you in picking out your Halloween watch list. That was my prime directive in this video. And I want to wish you a happy Halloween. Now, my dear Igora, run the end card.